What's going on, party people? My name is Solomon, and I am an artist, and thus I go by Solomon the Artiste. Well, let's get straight into it. I've been trying to shoot this video for like 2 days. What I'm actually going to talk about is not what I've been trying to shoot. I'm still trying to decipher. I'm figuring maybe it's divine intervention as to why I haven't been able to shoot this video. Like something would always come up or something would happen. Or like yesterday I set up in the living room. Excuse me. And my father, came to the house earlier than usual. So, I had to just sort of let that go, drop that. Well, I still want to talk about this, though. You can probably see from the title what, the subject is. In the past 2 days, I've seen not one but two instances of children, like 11, 12-year-old children, committing suicide because of bullying. Bullying that extended to social media from school. And it really just broke my heart. Like, it broke my heart something fierce, because I'm not even trying to front like this. Excuse me. It broke my heart that bullying has gotten so terrible. But then it made me think about myself, because I never speak on this, but I was severely bullied growing up in school. Bullied to the point that I purposely took advantage of my smarts and graduated high school early just to get away. And of course my parents never knew how bad I was being bullied. My parents thought that I was, one of the most popular kids in school, because that's what I let them believe. And that's because I have Jamaican parents, primarily my dad, who he don't mess with his kids, basically, especially his son. I'm an only son. And so the last thing I needed or wanted was for my dad to come up there with his Jamaican self embarrassing me. Because, once he put forth his Jamaican efforts, and he leaves for the day, I'm still at school with these children, So I was bullied, and it started, I was bullied for pretty much all of my grade school career, so to speak. I was bullied. And I'm still getting used to this camera. I'm seeing that it's struggling with the lighting, because I'm sorry, there's like so much light on this side, not much on this side. I want to just sit on my bed and be comfortable, but between shooting YouTube videos and recording music for my forthcoming album, this room is just a hot mess. And so I can't let y'all see the terribleness of the room. So I got this fake backdrop, which is really just my bed sheet. I'm not even on front. But who cares? You make it work. That's what art is. I hope you guys can't hear that. That's my stomach. Even at 30, the aftermath of bullying still affects me. I try to front like it doesn't, but it affects me hardcore. There have been very few times that I think I can count those times on my hand. Even worse, I can probably count those times on just one finger where I've actually stood up for myself. I remember in kindergarten, there was this boy in first grade. I'll never forget, his name was Gene. And every day, it didn't matter if I was coming into school, coming out of school, in kindergarten, the teacher takes you around in a line. Well, that's grade school in general up until, I don't know, junior high school, is it? Do they stop that in junior high? I don't remember. Either way, I remember he would just call me all sorts of vicious names. And he would do this in front of my teacher, Miss Elaine. I'll never forget you. And she would do nothing. Nothing. And I kind of get it, in the sense that she probably figured boys will be boys, and then of course, she figured it's harmless. He's not hitting you or anything. He's calling you names. Stand up for yourself. Well, bruh, one day I stood up for myself. One day I stood up for myself. I remember we just finished lunch and we were heading into nap time. So Miss Elaine comes and gets, the class from the lunchroom and lines us up, and we're heading out the lunchroom, and Gene gets up from his class. They're still eating, and I'm standing at the back of the class because I've always been the tallest and, the biggest in any class I've ever been in. And Gene, he's just, standing there, calling me the names he's called. I don't even want to repeat the names he would call me. It really just used to hurt my feelings. But he's like calling me the name, just sort of really poking fun at me and just picking at me. And then other kids got involved. Like 2 other boys, I remember they just out of nowhere got involved. And I remember thinking, who is this? But I got to the point where I was just so frustrated that I snapped. All I remember is seeing red. And my intention was to grab his tie because, I assumed that we all had clip-on ties. I had a clip-on tie. We had to wear uniform. That's it was a private school basically for kindergarten, first grade, second grade, and such. In Long Island. I grabbed his tie with the intention of throwing it in the garbage. Little did I know that he was wearing an actual tie. But I was just so filled with anger that I just had to follow through with my grabbing of the tie. So I grabbed him by the tie and it didn't come off, but I just kept on pulling, and then I started swinging, and I'm like swinging him to the point where from his tie, his feet levitated off the ground. And it was like I caught myself in the moment and I just let go of the tie, and he just fumbled onto the floor like a rag doll. And I was so shocked, and I looked around for a quick second. For some reason, teachers are always in the lunchroom. For some odd reason, there were no adults in the lunchroom at this particular moment. And I just ran out the lunchroom and caught up with my class, who were halfway up the stairs. And it's so crazy. Miss Elaine saw me run up to the back of the class, and she just kind of gave me a look. And to this day, the look she gave me, I suspect that she knew that I went and handled myself, basically. The way that boy fell, I pray to God that he never broke anything, but I'm pretty sure he had to have broken something. I can't even front, But I remember spending that entire day thinking, oh my God, somebody's gonna come and get me. Like he's gonna tell somebody that I did this to him. No one ever came. I can't lie and say that I felt guilty for that. I definitely snapped, but I can't front and say that I felt guilty for that. Because I didn't. I don't regret it. I can't lie. It saddens me that I hurt someone physically. And, him bullying me and calling me names and stuff doesn't justify it, but I don't know where to go from there. I really just told that story just to say that, I've been bullied literally my entire life. I remember, so absolutely, I remember, I don't know what it was about me. Now granted, I was a very shy child. I was very quiet, very to myself, but very active in art. So I did things like take part in the drama club. I was always singing somewhere. I was always doing, storytelling contests. It's early morning, I'm sorry. I was always doing storytelling contest. I was always doing the storytelling contest. Just always, as I think about it now, I'm realizing I was probably taking part in all these activities really so that I could get away from my classmates. That is really what it was. I can't even front. I was trying to get away from my classmates. It worked in my favor, but still, I was just trying to not be around them. That's how much they used to hurt me. They really made fun of me on a daily basis. They called me all sorts of names, It was so bad. Like, I have a number of instances. Sometimes teachers get involved. That's the crazy thing. And maybe that's why children they just sort of feel lost and feel as if they have no other choice other than suicide. Because I've had teachers get involved. My 5th grade teacher, as much as I love her, she had her moments. I remember my best friend at the time told me, and this was, after we graduated. He waited till after we graduated, out of elementary school. And he had mentioned it to me how we had a pizza party. And, I don't remember what it was. You paid, 1 slice was this much money, 2 slices, whatever. So I ordered 3 slices because I remember it was a Friday afternoon. And I figured, okay, I'm going to buy 3 slices because normally I would buy a slice of pizza or something on my way home anyway. So I figured I'll buy 3 slices. I'm a big and tall kid. I'm not going to front, so I figured I'll eat the 2 in class and I'll have 1 that I'll just take home with me and I'll just have that as a snack when I get home. I guess everyone assumed that I was going to eat all 3 in one setting in the classroom at this pizza party. But when I got up, I actually had to leave the class for a moment. The teacher actually sent me out to do something. And while I was gone, apparently, and she called my name, to get my slices of pizza, I guess she forgot that she sent me out the classroom. One of the kids, I actually know who it was. It was this boy named Jason. Just went oink oink, because I was a fat kid. And the entire class laughed. And apparently, and I almost said her name, apparently this teacher, well, I won't say what she said, but, she said something to the class about me being an overeater. And, she, including the class, apparently laughed at this whole situation. And, when my friend told me the story, he was smart. He told me it after we graduated because, I was always a very sensitive kid. But it made sense, basically. Let me get to the point. When I walked I never forgot this. When I walked into the classroom that day, everyone stopped and turned and looked at me and gave me this sort of smirk. And I never understood why until my friend told me that story. And then I remember, another boy that I was sitting next to, he just kept probing me, telling me to give him, a slice of my pizza or something. And I kept saying, no, I paid for these and I'm taking 1 home. And he said something to the effect of, stop lying, you're going to eat all of it now. Something to that effect. I don't know. But I couldn't understand why, these things were happening. Then I learned the story, And it's so crazy. Even when I think about these stories and speak on these things, there's a part of me that sort of reverts back to my younger self, you know, because it still hurts. And I guess that's the point of this video. I have so many bullying stories that I can tell you. And I'll be honest, there have been moments where even I considered, you know, suicide. I'm not gonna lie, you know, because it gets so hurtful. I found God, I found Jesus, so I'm good now, you know, but it still hurts. It's still, the aftermath is still there. And you know, when I saw that these two little kids, these innocent, beautiful little kids committed suicide because they're being bullied, I just felt that I had to come here and speak. Now I don't get bullied at all. I mean, at least that I know of, you know, I really just don't care, you know. I pray my way through situations. But the experiences that I've been through, the many, many experiences I've been through, I still experience the aftermath of, basically, you know. I do suffer with depression, and I'm certain that this depression has much to do, if not everything to do, with being bullied, and for some of the reasons that I've been bullied, you know. The reason I wanted to bring this video forth is because while I think, you know, anti-bullying campaigns are great and all, and teaching children to be happy and be comfortable in their skin is absolutely fantastic and necessary, I wonder, why are we not addressing the actual bullies? Like, we pretty much just shame them into silence, and then eventually that shame ends, and then they get to go back to their regular lives, these bullies. But the bullied pretty much live a lifetime of trying to function through the aftermath of being bullied. And it's not cool, it's not fair. And the fact that children as young as 12, 11, 10 years old, 8 years old, feel the need to commit suicide in order to get away, something needs to be done. And I mentioned the story about my teacher to acknowledge the fact that sometimes adults aren't helping these children. That's probably why they feel so trapped, lost, and frightened. So, what are we going to do about the bullies? Are we going to give them counseling? I mean, sometimes, you know, we force the bullies to apologize to their victims. And most of the time, if at all, they don't mean the apology. They're just apologizing because they got caught. You know, what are we going to do about the bullies? And I don't mean just reprimand them. I don't mean, you know, expelling them from school. I mean, like, sometimes some bullies are bullies because they are bullied at home. You know, they're abused at home, and they get back their control, their sense of self, by bullying others. I understand that. Hurt people. I get that. But that's what I'm getting to. Can we ask questions? Can we offer them counseling? You know, and by no means do I mean to take away from the immediate victims. Absolutely not. But rebuilding the self-esteem of the victims is not enough. That is not the complete solution. What are we going to do? What are we going to do to rectify these bullies before they grow up to become Zimmerman, whatever his name is? What are we going to do to rectify the situation before someone grows up and becomes Grumpf? What are we going to do?